absolute best.
Yeah, they had us the first half. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne.
I think I got my swagger back. Oh.
I love it, baby.
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins. By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
McGrath for the win. He got it. If you don't like college football and you watch this one, I'm not sure what your problem is.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is the third Thursday in October, October 19th, which means this Saturday is the third Saturday in October. Man, it's another feel-good year where you get around to this one, and Tennessee's underdogs, and I think Alabama's a really good full team like last year, and I think there's some trouble, but like you don't have to like convince yourself Tennessee's going to win.
Yeah.
And that feels good.
It feels weird.
Weird?
Yeah, like I feel like the teams are even, but the spread is huge.
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with being in Tuscaloosa. And I think offensive troubles are going to I guess A&M struggled offensively for the most part this year, even with Bruce.
Connor
Wegman. So I think that probably kept that line, Tennessee favored. So, yeah, I don't know. I still think it's a big spread, but Landon, I hate to reenact history real quick for you, but do you remember that spread going into last year?
What was the spread? Tell me.
It was at 10.5 at one point. I know it kind of got fooled around with Bryce Young, but I think it closed at 9.5.
Well, we covered, so.
Ball's covered. Hey, speaking of history, I've got a little something special to share.
Okay.
Paxton Brooks to hold. Chase McGrath for the win for the Volunteers. From 40. On the way, a knuckleball. He got it!
A little something to
get
the mood going. And guys, I struck it. I was barefoot.
Was that take one?
No, that was bare. Yes, it was. It was.
I gave you a toss up.
It was my first barefoot attempt.
Okay.
Everything else is in tennis shoes. Asics. They're not really. There's a reason kickers don't wear Asics. But kickers did used to kick barefoot. That's a thing.
I'll be honest. As soon as that went in, I was like, "Oh God, here comes the video of me after the game from last year."
That was not planned. We went and fed the South Louisville football team Go Keys for
their today
meal. Mm-hmm. And
what time was that?
5:30 is when we fed them.
Oh,
Shout out Paul Sheldon.
I must have just missed you because I was walking the dogs. Yeah.
Oh, we probably didn't kick until I probably did that till 6:37.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. And
I said, when we were out there in the A6, I said, I think I need my holder. Like I think that's what I'm missing. And Jonathan got a little offended. And then Sam, that was Sam's first hold as well. He did used to hold for me all the time when you were occupied with real football. But yeah, we had to relive that. I said, hey, put that ball on the 40.5-yard line. Let me Chase McGrath the hell out of this ball. And I did.
Well, it wasn't a knuckleball. That was a bomb.
I have a second one. I did it again. For all the haters and the losers out there, I did it again, and it knuckled pretty hard.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did it twice. I think that's a good sign. And let me tell you, dude, 40.5, back in the day, brother, let me tell you. That's a warm-up. Now, I got done working today. My hamstring felt like it was going to explode, like my lower back was hurting. It was so tight. So people don't know how I was feeling today. But I stretched a little bit. Yeah, I took a couple warm-up kicks from the extra point, and I did it for the Vols. Barefoot.
NFL extra point or college football extra point?
Yeah, I was one stepping from the high school extra point just to
Okay.
get warmed up. 20-yard field goal. Nothing. Nothing. I didn't want to. Landon. We're old. I don't want to get injured.
Just a layup.
Just getting warmed up. And don't worry, I'll be sending that out because I am pretty proud of myself. I'll be honest. And so you'll get to watch that again in its full glory. And shout out to, I'm gonna blank on his name. You actually played football with his son at Carson Newman. He was a barefoot kicker at the University of Tennessee. At what's his last name? Duncan. Al Duncan. Is that right?
Sounds all right.
Should have known
Kurt
that.
Duncan is the one.
Correct. Yeah, Kurt. So yeah, shout out to him. You learn from the best. I didn't actually learn from him, but that would have been cool. Well, yeah. Sorry, I just want to get you. I was like, we were out there just throwing the pigskin, and I was like, hey guys,
just a little bomb. Let's
do this real quick. It feels right. We lit up cigars after. That would have been sick.
I got to go pick up my cigar.
I'm getting mine tomorrow night. I hope everybody's got theirs ready. One girl was a week ahead. She had a cigar next to me and Elle after the Texas A&M game. So
just saving it, or she was smoking it after.
She unwrapped a Black and Mild right there, and she did not light it up. I was wondering. I was like, does she know? Like, I'm all for victory cigars. I'm all for cigars. I love them, but probably not gonna light a cigar up in the stadium unless it's Alabama. Being honest.
Yeah.
But hey, I support cigar smoking whenever.
Yeah, just don't get caught.
Shout out to Legend Cigars. That's the cigar I should have gotten. Dang it.
Yeah.
Juice.
So where are you getting yours?
Probably there's a cigar shop up in Sevierville. Probably gonna go after work.
Okay.
Probably gonna kill Tom because the Cherokees play Seymour tomorrow. Go Keys. Big rivalry weekend, man. Third Friday in October. Make it happen.
Battle of
Chapman Highway, Battle 411, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Three. Oh my gosh, what is Chapman Highway's number? 329?
I don't know. Chapman Highway.
It is Chapman. Chapman, baby. Turns into Dolly Parton Parkway. Turns into Newport Highway. You guys are just getting geography lessons here. Little road map.
I like that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You got somebody you need to tell us about?
I do. I kind of just like, this has been a fun, just good vibes, dude. These are good vibes.
Great vibes.
I like it.
You're in a good mood.
My foot hurts, but my heart's happy. Underdog is Knoxville's best sports collectibles store with a wide selection of UT cards, autographs, and memorabilia. Whether you're looking for a Peyton Manning autographed helmet or the most recent Topps baseball card release, you'll find it at Underdog. The shop is owned by UT graduates and proudly supports UT sports by hosting NIL events throughout the year. Stop by the 640 Plaza and 4452 Western Avenue in Knoxville, Tennessee. They're open 6 days a week with live YouTube shows 3 nights per week. I cannot stress this enough, guys. Remember to always bet on the Underdog.
Do it.
That makes my heart happy too. Underdog Collectibles. Shout out.
Guys, third Saturday.
I was going to say, like, this is one of the better rivalry names, but some years the SEC decides to be screwy and make it, the second or fourth in October. It's been the third Saturday for a while recently, but there was a while it was screwy. When the SEC schedules it correctly, this is one of the best rivalry names in sports.
Yeah. Also, if Tennessee wants to go ahead and win this game on Saturday, I think it will make up for losing in the Swamp this year.
Since we were there, I don't know if I'd go that far, but it would make me very happy.
Yeah.
Big T said it on macrodosing, and I agree to be like kind of full. I'm fully bought in always, so don't mishear this, but to like kind of be like fully bought in, especially on playoff opportunity. Go win this game.
Yeah.
Go win this game. And I made fun of, I don't know if I made fun on the show or just, between us, but someone mentioned Tennessee doesn't control their own destiny in the SEC because they don't right now. Florida and Georgia still control the East. Like we have no say in what they do. So we rely on either, we could obviously go beat Georgia as long as we stay one loss, but Florida controls right now. Like we have no control. Tennessee though still controls. They're still in playoff contention. The college football playoff has proved. And I'm sorry to talk about this. I'm just saying, like, in the sense of the season, they do still control where they go in the season. Yeah. Sure, SEC right now is out of your control.
I would go on a limb and say they can control their own destiny. I mean, there's no way Florida beats Georgia.
I'm just saying right now,
happens,
as it
I'll
stands,
get a tattoo.
Of what?
I don't know. Whatever.
It'll be a fat guy humping a shark. You have to. Come on. You can make
Okay.
it abstract and you can always explain it away, but you have to have that.
It's a flower.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
Come
with
on.
a butt.
It's just a couple dudes and animals making love. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Say it. Say you'll do it right now if Florida beats Georgia. You'll get Jim McElwain humping a shark. Or Jimmy John's guy, whatever.
Deal.
Clip that.
There's
But I'm
no
just
way.
but I'm just saying in the realm of things, I don't disagree with what you're saying, except for the part of getting a tattoo. But it's just in the sense of reality, they don't control their own destiny at this moment. But you can still make the college football playoff if you go one loss for the rest of the year and it kind of helps you if you don't have to play that SEC championship game for being on it, like in that sense.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying. It's just that go take care of business, like go win. And guys, everything's in front of you. Everything is literally in front of you.
And I think this is a big game because I don't think Tennessee has played a full 4 quarters of football. Like a
No,
legit,
God, no. Not even close.
really good football game. And you're still sitting here at 5-1. And I know like last year we were spoiled because like how we won and like the points we put up. This is a different football team. I mean, if you put somebody who's never watched football, you make them watch it in black and white, they would have no clue that team from last year is the same exact school.
No, God, no. No. You have to, I mean, maybe peel the power T off, but yeah, no, I'm with you for sure.
They're just like, this is the Big Ten. This is not the SEC. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it for years, dude. This is a defensive-minded football team. They have defense first, run
You've
the
been
ball.
saying it for years?
Years. Run the damn ball. It's a great.
You're saying it last year too, right?
100%. This is a weird game, kind of really talking Alabama now, where I go, Jalen Milroe's athleticism is scary for this team. However, now, not that Max Johnson's athletic, and he obviously didn't get out of the pocket, and he did score their only touchdown on the run. But like he's not a Jalen Milroe type. He is not going to extend plays. Landon, I don't know if you've seen how many times Jalen Milroe's been sacked this year. I
have.
I'd like to call like Max Johnson did an incredible job of staying off the ground, like not taking sacks. Mm-hmm. We could have sacked him 7-8 times, and he didn't get. So when I look at all those things, I look at how many times Jalen Milroe's been sacked. The fact that Max Johnson somehow was able to not allow sacks to be recorded, even though you had, what was it? He got hit like 18 times, 18 of 37 passing attempts. He got hit. Mm-hmm. I really
got pressure.
Got pressure. Oh,
yeah.
Pressured. Okay. Well, I mean, probably what out of those 18, he probably got hit
10, 11. Yeah.
And so all those things like that made that one thing, the Jalen Milroe being athletic, probably definitely the most athletic quarterback he played this year. Right? Am I forgetting someone?
No.
Okay, just making sure. I mean, Graham Mertz, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
No hate on Graham. We did make him look athletic at times. Mm-hmm. But actually all hate on Graham. Those things compiled make that one thing not as big of an issue for me. And that was one of the scarier things, I guess. For me.
I mean, I just love the way this defensive front's playing right now. It's getting after the quarterback. It's not letting them get out of the pocket. And even if they do break the pocket, it's the pursuit is like we're right on them. So it's not like they can just like stop and make and set their feet and make a throw. Like they're running for their life. So I think it's worrisome a little bit just because he is athletic. It's something you got to watch out for, but I'm not expecting a whole lot of Jalen Milroe on the ground. With the way we're playing right now, again, pursuit, the linebackers are playing well in pursuit, just gang tackle and getting to the football. I just have a hard time thinking that he's going to be able to break contain and then get anywhere because I think our linebackers are really good and making sure if anything gets past the line of scrimmage, they're making the tackle.
Yeah, I think Jalen Milroe will have a few really, I think he'll wow us once or twice. Like he's going to make, because he's playing better football, and I think he's going to be able to make a play with his legs at some point. But I don't think it's going to be throughout the game.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be the story of the game. And you mentioned the linebackers in that, and just that how much they really help at the line of scrimmage. That I think is because the defensive line is playing so well. I think that is kind of the linebacker play is kind of floating under the radar. It's like everyone knows it's really been really good, especially for a lot how much young talent you have. But it's not been talked about in the sense like I think it does if maybe your defensive line isn't great. But that defensive line is playing really, really good, and they're being help's not the right word because they're playing really good, but they're being aided by a really strong linebacking group, and it's young guys. I mean, obviously Aaron Beasley's the star of it, and he's a veteran, but Elijah Herring's, I feel like he's getting better every game.
Mm-hmm.
Like Keenan Peely looked really good for us. I'm not convinced if Elijah Herring isn't, obviously he's probably not getting this much playing time, so that changes it. But if we're getting this Elijah Herring, is he our starter regardless of Keenan Peely's health?
I don't know.
I'm not like outright saying it's happening.
Yeah.
I just feel like he's drastically improved
Oh
since
yeah,
we first
100%.
saw him on the
yeah.
field.
The games seem to slow down for him a lot
Mhm.
since Florida. But yeah, I think Aaron Beasley is the best player on this defense, and we're not even really talking about him a whole lot because James Pierce and Tyler Banner are making the stops
Yeah.
before they even get to Aaron Beasley.
That's like Aaron Beasley's almost benefited from lack of D-line play. He's looked so good the last few years.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's still playing
exactly right.
And he's still playing really good. It's just like you said, it's not getting talked about it as much. And I hate to kind of flash forward to next year, Landon, but we've been hearing that Caleb Herring's always been better than his brother. And Elijah Herring looks pretty dang good right now.
Yeah, I mean,
If Caleb Herring's better than that, sign me up.
yeah, I mean that's another edge rusher.
Also, if you need another Caleb, just let me know. Hypo, I got eligibility. Did you see that? That was barefoot. Imagine if I was in Nike leathers. Like, just imagine.
Oh yeah, Nike leathers. I like that. This is another kind of street game. You haven't won in Tuscaloosa since 2003. I think that's 9 straight losses. Let's not get to double digits.
Let's not. This
also,
is one of
Tennessee is also 1-3 on the road in their last 4 true road games, and the one win is Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and this is going to be a Florida environment. That was an impressive environment. This is going to be every bit of that. I think the Alabama games of the past, they've had their rowdy moments. 15 you can point at and say like that crowd really got going. So they, 2009 with Lane Kiffin, which is in the middle of that road loss streak early on in it. So rowdy environment. For the most part, man, those fans have known when Tennessee's coming to Tuscaloosa, it's a dub. And so it's gonna be a little bit different than even the guys who've been there experienced. But it's not gonna be. I feel like I'm gonna sound like Gary Danielson here, but it's gonna be a lot like a Florida game, stuff they've experienced. So it's not too crazy. Now maybe the extra rowdiness from the win last year gets them fired up. I don't know. Those boys and girls want to take Dixieland Delight back. That's my biggest thing. Like, this is for the rights for Dixieland Delight, I think.
Okay, yeah. Battle of
Dixieland
Delight.
I think winner of this game gets it.
Okay.
Winner of this game gets it. I want it.
I think the winner of last year got it officially.
We didn't own it though. Like, why did we not just take it?
Should have just taken it. Yeah.
It was like when Brutus sees me walk away from my dinner on the kitchen counter. The moment I step out of the kitchen, it's his. We didn't. Yeah. We kicked Alabama's ass out of the kitchen, and we just sat there like a good boy. That's unreasonable, in my opinion.
Yeah, just wagged our tail.
Yeah, just begged. We're not begging this year. We're taking it. It's ours.
Slobbered on the floor. But yeah, we do have a question from Dub here. He said, "Sup, fellas? Sup, Dub? Good to see you, man." He said, "Can y'all imagine how good we'd be if we had at least average quarterback wide receiver play?"
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'd be very good, obviously, but I still don't think it's as high powered as last year because obviously they know what they're good at, and that's running the football. So I think you obviously look much, much better than you do right now, but I think it's very different from last year still. Maybe not very different is the right word. It's just a different style.
Yeah, you're scoring in different ways, but
because obviously they ran the football a lot too.
Yeah, I think you're still putting up the same amount of points because, I mean, if you're able to run the football like you are now last year, I think there's people even more open because,
Yeah.
I mean, what are you going to defend? You pick your poison.
Right. And you say the same amount of points, maybe. I mean, I feel like that A&M game, you play a defense like that, Tennessee probably does score like 10 more in that game, or maybe 2 more touchdowns because there's you hit the open guy.
Yeah, for Melky.
Yeah. Well, you did score on that drive though.
Was it a field goal?
No, we that was to Jacob Warren.
Okay.
That little out action. I don't remember what exact route he ran.
Rub route.
Yeah. So we did score on that drive. But yeah, I mean, I still think, I mean, there were still touchdowns left out there for sure.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. I don't know if a game like this, in terms of game plan, I don't know if it's 52-49.
Yeah, probably not. But I do think if Tennessee's going to win this game, Joe Milton has to throw more for 100 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just.
I 100% agree, but I also said if we wanted to win that A&M game, I thought he had to play a lot better, and that it's not all on him. It's not all on him. Don't get me wrong when I say this, but that was probably his worst game this year.
Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, you just can't have the turnovers in the end zone. You can't.
That was such a bad ball. I don't know if we dwelled on that because we were kind of riding a high Sunday. That was dumb.
Yeah. And then, I mean, he's just got to be the IQ wise. Like, you got a free play, chuck it up deep.
Chuck it up deep.
If you don't, get the first down.
No. See, on that one, it's only 3rd and 3. You go get the first down. He almost had it. You go get the first down because that free play doesn't really count for anything. 2nd and 8, sure, chuck it up. 3rd and 8, you got to go get that first down if you have an opportunity to get the first down. Yeah. Period. Yeah, you don't. 3rd and 3 ain't a gimme, especially against the best defensive line in the country. Like you said, football IQ.
Yeah, that was tough to watch. Yeah, Joe Mills just got to be better. And I know people are calling for Nico and whatever. Whoever's out there, that Tennessee has to have better quarterback play. And I think some of that is on the receivers. Some of it might be in pass coverage.
I was about to say, I think
pass protection.
I was about to say, I think it's offensive line too.
But most of it's on Joe Milton.
I don't disagree. Well, he's a quarterback. At the end of the day, like you got to make because there are still
leader. He plays the most important position. It's his team. It's you're judged as a quarterback on wins and losses.
At the end of the day. Well, we say that, and we're kind of dogging him for last week, and he did win.
Right. But
you were judged by wins and losses is kind of like the first thing, and then the second category is like how many yards you throw for.
Yeah.
But like
how efficient were you?
That too. And well, shoot, I was gonna blank there. Like Joe, like even though like I think he's throwing a lot of balls that should be caught, he could throw them better. Like a lot of those slants, I know a lot of people are saying you got to put it in front of him. And while I don't disagree, and I think it needs to happen, if you're a wide receiver on that roster, you should like catch the ball wherever. Like if it hits you in the hand, you catch the ball. I just don't understand all these people that would probably say that and then don't say it to our wide receivers.
Yeah, I mean, it's a two-way street, I guess. But I think the most frustrating part is like this is your 6th year in college football. Like the running out of bounds on 4th and 2.
It's not good, man.
That's something that you should have learned 2 years ago that you never do.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was also just not a good play call.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I mean, it's still on him. Like he had a chance to at least try to make a play, but yeah, that which for Heupel, I do think Heupel did a good job of slowing the game down when he saw how they were going to win. He said it after the game, so I know he at least believes it a little bit. Like it wasn't his best game as a head coach.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But I mean, you can't come out of the tunnel doing his little.
Did he do that out of the tunnel?
Oh yeah, bow and arrow stuff, and then throw for 100 yards. I mean. It's cringe. It's what it is.
And you hit a 298-yard drive. You almost tripled that dude's yards in one golf swing.
I mean, yeah. Raven heard about
that. Landon did hit that's not a joke. He hit a drive 298 yards last night.
Yeah. It was a little
the course is a little wet too. Like you didn't have a ton of roll out.
Yeah.
We also birdied that hole.
I think that was the only one.
Did we not get one more? I thought we got one more birdie. No, I missed that putt. That was a stupid putt too.
Yeah, last night was pretty tough. I mean, no one played well.
It sucked too because I feel like I hit like a couple like good shots, and then I thought about my round, and I was like, it still sucked.
Yeah.
Like that one. We're gonna guys. This is fishing stories with us, but golf version. Like that one sitting on the side of the hill. I mean, couldn't have hit that really any better. Just to get that on the green was impressive. I stuck it to like 5 feet on the birdie putt I missed, but then I think about the rest of my round and it was trash.
Yeah. Oh well, what can you do? Just go back and do better. That's what Joe Milton. Just do better.
Yeah. I had like 5 good golf shots. Okay.
Yeah. Just do better. There are some matchups that I do kind of like in this game to kind of see who wins the matchup, and I think whoever wins these matchups probably wins the game. Okay. Tennessee's receivers versus Alabama's secondary. I mean, there's no doubt like the receivers got to be better. I think you do kind of have to get them involved early.
Okay.
Maybe get them some confidence going. Again, I think it is like that's going to take a whole lot of pressure off because it is going to be a tough environment also.
Why do we either throw 85 screens a game or no screens a game?
That was I didn't understand that.
There were times that we at least got them to back off because they knew we could take the top off. Whether it's going to be hit or not, that's a different story.
Right, we're going to throw it.
We're going to throw it. And yeah, I'm thinking we can throw a screen here. We just need 5 yards, 4 yards. We can get that. And I just don't get the no screens or all screens. I don't get that. I'm not saying throw 10 screens a game. I'm not. Once or twice, which, that one early in the game we threw to Squirrel, that DB just made an incredible play. Like, you just kind of like we did a good job blocking him. Squirrel kind of got like tied up where to go, but he's getting blocked and is able to get an arm out and then is just strong. Like, what do you tip your cap and go on?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, losing Brew McCoy definitely hurts the screen game a little bit.
I don't disagree, but when you have a guy like Squirrel White, you don't need exceptional blocking.
Yeah. It's got to be set up a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't just go out there and start wheeling and dealing off the rip and let them play it. But
yeah, the reason I like this matchup, or I think this is a key matchup to this game, because if Tennessee can find some success passing the football, I think it prevents Alabama from just loading the box because they have really good.
Yeah.
They have really good secondary. Caleb Downs is going to be a freshman All-American. They have Kool-Aid McKinstry, who's going to be a first rounder. Tyrion Arnold is a really good corner. Malachi Moore is a safety that they is highly touted coming out of high school and has been a starter pretty much since he got on campus. So Tennessee's just got to find some success, and if they do that, I think that opens up some running lanes because I do think Alabama does have a good front seven, even though it's not like the dominant front seven that we're kind of used to with Alabama, but they do have really good edge rushers, really good linebackers, and they are tough to run against.
Yeah, and you mentioned Alabama loading the box defensively. I think that's a something you worry about. I'm shocked how little A&M did it though, and and I don't think Nick Saban. I'm going to respect Nick Saban a lot more than Jimbo or DJ Durkin. So I kind of think he'll probably try to do it more, but I think that does show opposing coaches are aware that Joe Milton can hit, especially on that deep ball. Like, I mean, that's a question I genuinely have that I know sounds super orange goggly, but is Tennessee going to get pass interference calls when they're on the offense side of the ball? Flip it to the defense side of the ball. You're talking about matchups. I'm thinking Tyler Barron versus the holding call. James Pierce, he didn't get held a ton because I think he's just that fast. But Tyler Barron, good God.
Yeah.
We need tearaway jerseys so they can see when we're getting held. Go back to the Condridge Hallways days. They did that so he couldn't get pulled down by his jersey. Tearaway jerseys so we can see when they're getting held. Bring them back.
Yeah. If we start seeing stomachs, then you know you need to throw the flag.
If a referee tells Tyler Barron to put his shirt back on, well, I got held.
Yeah.
You keep it on me.
Yeah, it's wrapped around that offensive guard's.
Yeah. It's stuck in the glove.
Yeah.
Like put Velcro on it. He's holding it.
Yeah. But Tennessee does have the 6th ranked rushing attack in the country. I mentioned Alabama does have a really good front seven. Dallas Turner, Chris Braswell. Dallas Turner does lead the SEC in sacks with 7. And I think Chris Braswell has 4.5 sacks, something around that. But yeah, I think Alabama as a whole leads the SEC in sacks with 22. Now they played more games in Tennessee, so we'll see, when they have a bye week if Tennessee can catch them. But to this point, they lead the SEC in sacks. Can Tennessee's offensive line protect Joe Milton when Tennessee has to throw?
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. And it's kind of like not a double-edged sword, but just like a little ironic that you need Joe Milton to throw well early to limit how many pass rushers they can have to allow, because like they can only do so much anyways. And then I think, so you need to be able to throw well early. And I think it's on this offensive line to, number one, just flat out protect him. Number two, we cannot shoot ourselves in the foot with dumb holding calls.
Yep.
I think that's the most holding's going to happen in the game of football. I like it's just, you can find it on every play. It blew my mind more to find out A&M hadn't had a defensive holding call in their favor in 10 quarters for the sheer fact that they're getting held.
Yeah.
But the dumb ones, and we got a message about our boy Ollie, friend of the pod. The one that pops off my mind is Jalen Wright I think it was Jalen, gets kind of tied up at one point. He gets past Ollie Lane, and Ollie's still grabbing the guy. Just let go.
Yeah.
Let go. And I think that's too, like, these running backs are so good. Even if you miss a block and you're trying to make up for it, give them an opportunity to go. Like, don't shoot ourselves in the foot. If you miss a block and they get a tackle for a loss or tackle to the line of scrimmage, let's reset and figure it out. We can't deal with these 10-yard penalties over and over and over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jalen Wright, if he just – I think he's leading the country in yards after contact. Like, the majority of his yards are after contact. Let the kid cook.
All three of these running backs are so good. You shouldn't even have to look who's back there.
Even if it's a 2-yard gain, you shouldn't.
Better than a 2-yard loss.
Yeah.
Or 10-yard loss.
Yeah, 10-yard loss. Yeah. I mean, Ollie Lane, that was a game that he would love to forget. Texas A&M, just not a great game for him. I know Andre Kuric was dealing with a injury. I don't know if he'll be back or not, but I'm interested to see kind of how they play that guard position.
Yeah.
If Ollie Lane continues to struggle. Maybe he doesn't. Hopefully he doesn't.
Yep.
But if he does, maybe there is some more competition there.
Yeah, and I'm, as far as offensive line goes, it's good to see. As far as I know, and I did rewatch a little bit of that game, Cooper Mays played 60 minutes.
Dog.
You need that. Dog.
I mean, we look at like how efficient Tennessee's running the football right now, especially in the last two games. I don't think there's any the common denominator here is it's Cooper Mays. I mean, I think that was a huge get, and it really sucks that he was not able to play against Florida, because I think
it does.
Having him communicate the line of scrimmage, I think, helps Tennessee not have so many pre-snap penalties on offense. And I think that's what looks like Tennessee struggles on the road, which I think that is definitely going into the line.
You don't love it. Yeah, probably. That's a good point too. That's not something I didn't consider when talking about it. Tennessee doesn't win on the road right now.
Yeah. So hopefully Cooper Mays is the guy that just changes that. I mean, what was the other one? Georgia, South Carolina, which, I mean, South Carolina, it wasn't because of the offense. I mean, we put up like 500 yards of total offense. 38
points. You should win when you score 38 points.
Georgia does. I mean, they just beat us.
And no side of the ball played great that day.
Yeah. And then Florida, which we don't like to forget that.
Yeah, and just real quick, one thing that pissed me off, I saw some people question Cooper Mays' fight and character after the Florida game, and I'll admit I was weirded out by the fact that we talked about this when we found out he was traveling. You can only travel 66. If you're on that plane, you're expected that you're going to play. And so, it makes me wonder, but the dude just looks like on the field, he just looks like a fighter. I've heard stories about him dating back to high school that the kid just plays ball. Like he's not anyone else but Cooper Mays, and he plays ball. And a lot of people are upset that he didn't play and dressed. A lot of people are upset that he left the field prior, with the first one to be off or whatever, with all that crap. But it's like, I don't know.
I wonder how much of I mean, he's always been smaller than his brother. I'm
He's
sure,
got little brother syndrome, man. When you're a
Yeah.
little brother, like you want to be better than your older brothers, no matter like whatever it takes.
but there's
He's a
no
dog.
doubt, like him in this offense. No offense to Cade, but he's more important than Cade was in this offense.
Yeah, and part of that is just by nature of the position he plays. But yeah,
Exactly.
no, for sure. I mean, definitely also boil down to like what he just as Cooper provides. Yeah.
Yeah. And just like what this team did against
Yeah.
South Carolina and Texas A&M versus Florida.
Yeah.
You kind of saw that.
Yep.
Another matchup, Tennessee's defensive front versus Alabama's O-line. Bama is giving up 4.43 sacks per game. That's 129th in the country.
That ain't good, Landon.
It's not.
That ain't
And
good.
Milroe has been sacked 4 times in the last 5 games. At least 4 times in the last 5 games.
Yeah, Jalen Milroe, not a part of the Clean Jersey Club.
Yeah, I mean, I know that when he was talking to the media, he was like, "We're going to have fun this weekend."
Which I kind of want the full context of that before I make a heavy judgment. I was talking about that with someone. It's like, because like if he's asked, depending on the question, you may want your quarterback to say something like that. Like if he's brought up that stat, I hope he's not just dogging the O-line. If he's like, yeah, that's going to be really hard for us. Hope we can manage. So I want to hear it before. Do you have the full context?
I don't know.
Oh, the way you were laughing, I was like, just wait.
No,
till you
I
hear
just
this question.
I just got a text from our friend Mandy. She said, "You're already seeing stomachs. They're wearing crop tops these days," and sent me a picture of Jalen Hyatt in the end zone with his stomach showing.
True.
Fair.
True. That reminds me of that one dude that was like, I don't want to see grown men wearing tights in reference to Lululemon being a Tennessee brand now. I was like, I mean, every Saturday we watch 100 grown men run around in tights already, dude. Like,
Right.
come on. And to be fair, that guy said, fair point. Like he recognized it.
Yeah, and like if they're giving away tights at the Tennessee sale in the training facility, people would spend $100 on some of those tights. As long as they had a power tee on it.
The loser of our thing should have to like warm up like these guys warm up now, like with no shorts on, just the like thermals.
Oh yeah.
Just a thermal and a hoodie, like a classic sorority girl.
Yeah, and the headphones.
Cut off hoodie, yeah. Beats, studio beats. Provided by Joe Milton. Shout out Joe Milton.
Shout out Joe. Yeah, how about spread the wealth this weekend, just like we did with the beats.
There you go. Yeah, move that ball around the field, man.
Yeah.
Get a little action going, I like that.
Be loose.
I'm excited for this. I think this is similar to last year. You're sitting here thinking like, tough game, but you're also like, this is very winnable. Very winnable.
Is this a game that like Nick Saban has to win? And not like in terms of like hot seat, but I'm saying like for this fan base and not just like lose it. I feel like this is a game they're like, I mean, they've circled this one since Chase McGrath hit that field goal last year.
And that's nice that Alabama fans have circled this because that's pretty rare as a Tennessee fan my age, pretty rare.
Yeah.
I think there's always going to be the unreasonable people who, yes, they will. Nick Saban will have some callers into his show, and I promise you he'll answer them better than Mark Stoops ever will.
I mean, he definitely did not prepare for Arkansas. He was just ready for Tennessee.
Maybe so. If so, man, we're getting
also,
different.
You did say a second ago, like I trust Nick Saban more than Durkin, and while I agree, they still haven't figured out how to cover Jalen Hyatt.
Yeah, that is 100% correct. That A&M defense would have. No offense to Chaz Nimrod, if Chaz Nimrod's burning you, Jalen Hyatt's burning you. They wouldn't have been able to grab Jalen Hyatt.
Yeah.
That you couldn't have committed defensive pass interference the way he was running. So, yeah, I definitely. But I think that's more the Jalen Hyatt factor.
Okay.
I also think DJ Durkin is a lot better than is he always drunk? What's it, Pete Golding? Like, he just looks hammered all the time.
Yeah, he probably needs to just go to Georgia, where they welcome.
Yeah, probably.
Drinking and
driving offenses.
Yeah.
Probably. Did you see the healthy Jeremy Pruitt in Iguani last night, by the way? Jeremy Pruitt looks good. He's lost a lot of weight. Dude looked just like him, but 200 pounds lighter.
Just a bald guy.
He was bald, but there were two other bald guys standing next to him with hats on, though. But yo, he looked just like Jeremy Pruitt if he was skinny.
Mm.
That's no hate, man. I'm fat too, but I couldn't afford to lose 200 pounds. I don't know where he's at now, though. He's working in he's working a middle school gym class. Those things get intense. It's kind of hard to be fat in a middle school gym class.
Oh yeah, he's probably just drilling sixth graders right in the teeth with some dodgeballs.
That's probably one of the more fun jobs to have. Because like in middle school, they're all, if you work in middle school, whether they're good kids or not, middle schoolers by nature are shitheads.
Yeah.
But at least in a middle school gym class, they're shitheads while being competitive. And like they all do, for the most part, they all want to be involved.
Yeah.
So
and
like
most of the time you
gym
can't
class.
seriously injure them.
Right. Yeah. They're still borderline children where you can like get hit with a car and they're fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can just, it's got to be one of the more fun jobs for sure.
Mm-hmm. So shout out, we saw Jeremy Pruitt apparently.
We did. He probably played better than us, unfortunately.
And kind of another thing, Tennessee secondary is playing a lot better. Jermaine Burton is definitely the best wide receiver they've seen up to this point. Now, Anais Smith is good, but I don't know. Tennessee just kind of shut him down. And a lot of that was on the pass rush. Again, secondary played well. But Jermaine Burton, got to keep him in check, especially when Milroe gets out of the pocket. Yeah, I can run, but I'm worried more about him like hitting some of these deep balls. He's going to take shots. I think they're like third in like passing attempt yardage in the SEC.
Wow.
So they take a lot of shots down the field.
Which that's what Jalen Moore, that's his strong suit too, though, is throwing deep balls, which is probably why he gets sacked so much. That's probably part of it.
Yeah. So I think maybe comes down to like which quarterback hits on the deep balls more.
Right.
Who can move the football that way?
Okay. A real QB battle then.
I mean, I think these teams are like set up exactly the same. Both like kind of quarterback issues, but love the deep ball. Both want to run the football offensively. Defensively, it's front seven.
I thought last year the teams were very similar too, outside of Alabama having a really good front four who just didn't play well against Tennessee though.
Well, darn out right.
That's right. Yeah, I mean but they were far and away better than Tennessee's front four last year.
Yeah,
but also, I mean that matchup was pretty strong in terms of two Heisman candidate quarterbacks.
Yeah. Speaking of tackle, Alabama's also got a freshman left tackle. Now he is a 5-star.
If there's not several holds this game, I'm just going to let you know I'm going to lose my shit.
Yeah.
Because they're going to have to hold him if they're going to have to.
Yeah. Caden Proctor. Maybe eat your Wheaties before this one. James Pierce and Tyler Banner are coming.
Nick Saban was really close to stroking out last year. If Tennessee wins, you said would Nick Saban be on the hot seat? I think, Miss Terry wants him to get more fired up.
I said this is a must win. Maybe it is for his health. That's why he has to win.
She may be regretting telling him to get more fired up on the sideline.
Okay.
He might want to take some.
I was thinking
CBD
she might regret saying yes to him.
Oh wow, going all the way back. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dude, if Tennessee got Nick Saban to sleep on the couch or to get kicked out of his house for the night, that would be amazing. That'd make my life.
That'd be awesome.
And I feel like the stories I've heard of his wife, Miss Terry, would do that. Like she's like, hey, that was a terrible game. Don't even come home.
He has to call up Jeremy Pruitt and sleep on his couch.
Don't get Alabama fans started, man.
We can't go to Pete Golding's house.
They were speculating that he bought a car in Tuscaloosa, which meant he was coming back to Alabama. If they find out he has an apartment in Tuscaloosa, they're going to lose their minds.
Yeah.
What cities do you think Lane Kiffin has apartments in? Miami still?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
LA for sure.
Because I was thinking like he was such a god in Tuscaloosa, he may have one there. That's like obviously an oddball, but Joey Freshwater may live on in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, just for like co-eds. Speaking of co-eds.
Oh.
I mean, maybe we get Kamal Hadden or somebody to dress as a co-ed and that scares off Jermaine Burton. I don't know.
Probably the move. speaking of co-eds, no more male only cheerleaders. We've moved past that point in our season.
Yeah. Glad we got past it.
And I'll recognize cheerleaders are kind of weird anyways to have on a football field, but it's better to have than the option of A&M's option.
Yeah. Dressed in like a
painter suit.
Coveralls. Yeah.
They should really lean into like the Masters caddy look. Like they've already leaned into the look, I guess, but they need to really like, we're Masters caddies. That's what they really need to do.
Yeah.
Because that is a sweet outfit if you're a caddy at the Masters tournament.
Yeah, you gotta have your name on the back or something.
Yeah. Well, not yours, but the person you're carrying clubs for. Yeah. That is, I will stand by that. One of the coolest outfits of all time, but really just kind of either around Masters weekend or on the grounds at Augusta is really the only appropriate place.
Yeah. You're kind of going for a little bit white shirt, white hat.
Yeah, I am. Actually, I have one.
You have white pants?
No, I bought one. A Masters caddy coverall because this weekend or this year Brutus's birthday fell on the Masters weekend, so we got him a Masters cake. I dressed up as his caddy. He would not wear the golf hat, which was very disappointing. Other than that, though,
so you got one just in case.
Yeah, I don't know where it's at though. Maybe it left behind another house. So unfortunately,
yeah. What's next? Predictions?
Dude, I don't even know. Yeah, let's do predictions. Are we just gonna lean in full Big Ten? This is a 6-3 ball game.
Dude.
Jeremy Pruitt would just nut everywhere if he heard Tennessee, Alabama 6-3.
Do they have a Mount Cody or anybody the same on Alabama's?
Oh God, don't even say that name. Hey, 6-3, and one more time, let me show you what happens.
Paxton Brooks to hold. Chase McGrath for the win for the Volunteers. From 40. On the way, a knuckleball. He got it!
$1 home beer parked in the Hollow Mountain.
We got to get Chase McGrath on the show. I want to know like his celebration of just like,
don't touch me. Don't touch me. I think it was like, hey, I would if I got injured right now.
Please do not tackle me. I do not need to be at the bottom of a ball.
I've always thought about that. I've never been dogpiled as an adult or, in high school, college, like I never dogpiled. But even as a kid with not big people on, I'm like, this is a panic ensuing for me. What if you got dogpiled under 50,000 people in Neyland Stadium?
Yeah, that's incredible. I don't think it'd be as bad as like in football, but like the baseball dog piles where everybody's got metal cleats.
Yeah, that'd be tough, dangerous. Man. I feel like at least by the time they get to like, 6 or 7 people deep, it feels like everyone's pretty careful about it.
Yeah.
So that's good. But
you always have that one idiot that's just like, oh, I'm going over the top.
They usually like people's elbow it too. The guy that comes over the top. They usually come in behind. I'm like, that's the hardest part of your body.
Yeah, please don't.
Speaking of game-winning field goals, and he claims he listens to the podcast. Let's find out since I'm going to talk trash. Remember when our high school football coach elected to have a guy who hadn't kicked all game kick over me for a 42-yard game-winning field goal? And I just did that barefoot from the same hash as an adult that doesn't stretch. And the worst part about it is people still thought I was the one who kicked that field goal. So screw you.
I didn't hold for it either.
You didn't. They messed up 10 and 11.
Yep.
Oh, well. Sorry, I want to bring that up real quick while I could. Just fit it in there. Yeah, game predictions, though. 6-3. Fine. No, I'm just kidding. I think the first Tennessee win in the series was won 5-0. So, okay. Yeah.
I would love that.
Is that a drop kick field goal and a safety? I don't even know if they were holding field goals at that point.
I love that I was trying to replicate what we did back in the 1800s?
I mean, I think we were like I think we were in the 20th century by that point.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah. You're pretty close. I think the Civil War just wrapped up and we won 5-0.
When was our first game? Was it in the...
I think our first game was in the 1900s as well. No, no, sorry. That would have been in Neyland. Yeah, it would have been the 1800s, late 1890. Okay. Maybe. God, why'd you ask me that? I pride myself in being a historian, and now here we are. All right, you do your game prediction real quick, and I'll do mine. Seriously, maybe.
I'm gonna
It
go.
might seriously be it.
I'm gonna go 20. I think it's another game-winning field goal. Honestly,
Oh, okay. I mean, I hope for the good guys.
yeah, I'm going 24-23 Vols.
24-23 balls. Okay. I think this is another one. I said the same thing about A&M, so I hate this. I still think your offense has to get going a little more in this to win it, and so I'm gonna put Vols higher than I want to, 31.
Whoa.
Yep. And again, regretfully, but it actually did work out in terms of my prediction. I said, trying to remember how I phrased it, but I was like, the score looks worse than it is. Tennessee gets a late one, which was almost true, kind of, because they got that turnover and were able to kick a field goal late.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of true in that sense. It probably was a 3-point game or 4-point game. Tennessee won by 7. So I think Tennessee wins by 10, 31-21. I think it's a late field goal to put it out of reach.
Okay. I like that.
I think that's too high scoring, but I'm kind of remaining in the
Hey, what
camp
year?
of
31-28?
31-21. Late field goal to put it out of reach.
Oh.
I think it scores worse than it is.
We covered the other way.
And I think Joe Milton, I think it's kind of me relying on, I think he has to play better in this game.
Okay.
This is one of those games where you're like, Joe Milton has to play one of his best games.
Yeah, and we do have some more questions on
God.
that now that I remember.
At the end of the day, this is a touchdown ball game.
There somewhere. It is all Vol. Everything says if Joe Milton replicates an Orange Bowl like performance, does UT win? By how much?
If he replicates it, I think they win by 7 and get a late one to win by 10.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that. If Tennessee is able to throw the ball like they were in the Orange Bowl, I think Tennessee is borderline, if not a top 5 team.
I won't say anything to that.
I mean, like,
I don't want to agree with you because I don't want my heart broken.
I think that's what's. I mean, the way that this defense is playing, they have the front 7 to. I mean, Rodney Garner said it.
Defense looks far. Yeah, defense looks far and away better than it did.
And if this was last year, Tennessee had that defense. I mean, we might have had a natty. I don't know. Georgia was good, but Tennessee's, I think, in the college football playoff, probably. Well, they would have been.
Yeah. If you beat South Carolina, you're in.
Yeah.
We didn't know it on that Saturday, but we knew it later.
He also has one more. If you could pick one other player to play their full potential, who would it be? Personally, I'm choosing Aaron Beasley, as he has the potential to change the game at not a very deep position.
Say that again?
If you could pick one other player to play their full potential, who would it be? He said Aaron Beasley.
I just feel like you're probably going to get it. Like, that's a guy I'm pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't play his best game, but pretty consistent. I think it's probably, I'm going to say, oh my gosh, I want to say his name like freaking Gary Danielson right now. Hold on. Why can I not say it right?
What does it start with?
I want to call him Ali. Well, how did he say it? How do you say it? How do you correctly say it?
Oh, Gabe Judy Lally.
Lally. I kept wanting to say how he said it.
Gabe Judy Ali.
I think it's probably the guy. I think it's whoever, probably Gabe Judy Lally, who plays opposite of Kamal Hadden. That's who we need the best. If there's someone Alabama can pick on, I think that makes it easier for them. It makes it tougher for everyone else on the defense. And kind of like if I had to pick between like another person defensively, it's probably Tamari McDonald.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. One guy in the box.
I think he's gonna have. I think he's kind of gotten thrown at too these last 2 games.
Yeah, especially A&M.
Yeah,
lost twice.
So I think it's one of those guys that's got to play really well.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I hate to ride the Kamal Hadden train. I'd love to keep hating on him. He seems to just like haters make you famous type vibes, but I think we're going to at least get kind of like Aaron Beasley. Like he's played consistently
he's popping.
this year.
He's got haters now. He's popping.
Someone told me that was what was that a quote from? Hard Knocks, brother. Wow. So it's a quote from Hard Knocks, but it's a quote from a song. So he also didn't know what it was a quote from.
Yeah. It's from a song. I don't know what song, but
yeah. Anyways, it's stupid. It's dumber that he said it after a loss. Anyways,
yeah.
Moving on to that. I don't even know where I was started. Kamal Hadden. I'm not gonna hop on his train, or I hate to hop on his train because he needs haters apparently. But if he just plays like solid, I think you just need that opposite guy to not be in a place to get picked on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go different than defense. I'll go Ramel Keaton. Struggled a little bit start this season, just not playing like the same Ramel Keaton we saw last year when he came in from for Cedric Tillman. I think if he plays his full potential, gets behind the secondary, gets a couple deep balls if he's behind the secondary and you hit on a deep ball, it's probably a touchdown. So I'm thinking Tennessee wins that game if Ramel Keaton is reaching his full potential, because if he is, I feel like Joe Milton is too. It's kind of a domino effect.
Yeah, I like that.
So
I just got a text asking me if it's even possible to find reasonable tickets for Georgia, and I was like, no. And then here's the thing that really sucks. Tennessee wins Saturday, they go up even more. If they lose, they might drop. Might.
Yeah. Yeah, I had somebody ask me at work, I think it was yesterday. They're like, do you know anywhere I can get like reasonable tickets? I was like, well, how much are you willing to pay for them? And he was like, I wouldn't pay over $200 for a ticket. I'm like, good luck.
So UTSA? What? A game that's already happened? I mean, maybe.
Yeah. I was like, yeah. And so I showed him like the cheapest ticket you could get online is like $700 for 2.
$700 a piece or $350?
$350.
Okay. That's not terrible, honestly.
No,
not great. I personally probably wouldn't pay that, but that's not atrocious.
Yeah. It was like $714, something like that, with fees and everything. But that was like top, like whatever's up there, HH or something like that. MM, maybe.
Good seats. Not a bad seat in Neyland.
Yeah. But that's crazy. Like I guess ours was like $1,200 for 2 for the season. And somebody's paying over half of that for one game.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I need to go ahead and pay for my season tickets. I keep forgetting. I'm glad you said that because I thought that this morning. I need to go ahead and pay them. You know what I'm going to do? Danny White wants me to pay early. All right. Good news. American Airlines is running some deal on their credit card thing that I have that, like right now, you get like double the points or something. I don't know. Something. So I'm going to get some flights out of it, Danny. Shout out.
Yeah. Just keep running it up, huh?
Yeah.
Let's talk some college football.
I'm also going to call and see about getting 2 more season tickets.
Oh.
Well, no, I'm not going to pay for them, but I really like going with my brothers. I just, and I've got 3 of them, and we have 2. Well, I pay for them, so I have 2 season tickets. So just love my brothers, man. What do you want me to do? Sue me. College football. Sorry.
College football. There's some pretty good games. Not a ton, but a few. I feel like the biggest game this week is definitely Penn State, Ohio State, other than Alabama, Tennessee. And that's at noon, which I guess it's cool that it's not directly in line with the Tennessee game, but it just seems like a weird time to have like one of the biggest games in your conference at noon.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with this game. I don't know if I feel like
What are your initial thoughts?
I really don't know how good these teams are. I don't know how good Ohio State is.
That's the one I'm
tested.
questionable. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like
we at least know like Penn State's good. I think Penn State is good enough to beat Ohio State, no doubt in my mind. I'm questionable if Ohio State's good enough to beat Penn State. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
And I think
Ohio State has more talent than Penn State. I think Penn State.
Yeah. In terms of though, like what we've seen on the field, I'm not saying Ohio State can't. No way they beat Penn State. Like you said, they have more talent. I think. What I've seen Penn State do versus what I've seen Ohio State do, and I haven't watched them much, but I'm just not entirely convinced Ohio State is the third-ranked team in the country. Whereas I feel like Penn State's confidently a top 10 team.
Yeah. I just don't know about Kyle McCord. He hasn't really been tested. Drew Aller hasn't really been tested either.
No. I think
Iowa. They did beat Iowa like a drum, but
and I'll say this:
I could move the football.
Oh, they're terrible. I will say I'm sitting here like kind of putting all the stock in Penn State, and the way I'm talking, I'm kind of like Ohio State, prove it to me. And there's a little bit of Ohio State, prove it to me for sure. I think just because Ohio State's been the much better team for so long, I am which is kind of dumb in college football, especially now with the transfer portal. I'm still kind of in the boat. Like for me to really bet on Penn State to win this, like I would need them to prove it to me.
Yeah.
So that's very dumb way of thinking, especially nowadays, but I am in that boat because I legitimately feel Penn State's a very good football team. Again, no doubt in my mind, top 10 team in the country. Ohio State could very well be sitting with 2 losses at the end of this regular season, very easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just feel like if Penn State wins, I feel like I feel like Ohio State could maybe blow them out. But I feel like if Penn State wins, the only way they win is by a field goal.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I listen, I think Ryan Day is an arrogant, you fill in the blanks. But he's a good, like he can coach the offensive side of the ball, man. There's not denying that. No denying that.
Yep.
But just in case I do get called out, Ryan Day, your team is soft. Boys never worked a 12-hour shift in their life. They wouldn't know what to do with a hard hat. Just not lunch pail guys, man.
Yeah. Air Force Navy.
Are we really talking about? Oh, okay. I was like, are we really talking about that?
34.5, which is not the lowest one of the weekend.
Is it Iowa?
It is Iowa.
Okay. What are they at?
30.5.
What's their record versus
the spread?
No, versus the over.
I don't know.
Just versus the over. I'm curious. I'm sure the unders hit.
Yeah. The only one it probably didn't.
We need to track that. Their record.
Western Michigan and probably Western Michigan's probably the only, maybe Michigan State.
Okay.
But last week it was 15-6.
It's just hilarious, man.
20-14, 26-16, 31-0, 41-10, 20-13, 24-14.
Yeah.
And their best player on offense is now out for the season. So against Penn State, Cade McNamara had 5 completions. 3 of them were to their tight end, which is now out for the season.
What's the story on Michigan getting investigated for stealing signals? And why are you stealing signals against Bowling Green?
No,
you've not played anyone good unless they're practicing stealing signals for better opponents. That would be fair.
Yeah,
that I could hear that argument.
Yeah, Dylan, if you're in here, you're more than welcome to get in here too.
Yeah, maybe just stay out. That'd be fine too. I don't care. I'm just kidding, Dylan. Get your long hair, hippie.
Florida State Duke.
Over. That's there. I think Vegas bid hard on the under last week. They said, they only scored 30. No, they scored 49 points last week combined. Right?
44.
44? Yeah, see, they bit hard on that. Duke likes to score points too. Florida State, we know. 49 seems like a gift. Am I crazy?
But it's backup quarterback for Duke. Duke's defense is good.
But they still like to score, man. It's a system bet, Landon. The problem is you can't go away from the system when it loses. Gotta ride the system.
I mean, they won last week. The game was 24-3 against NC State.
Yeah, that's bad. Good news is James Madison's up 3-2 in football, not soccer. And that just means they need a touchdown to cover. So that's good. It's good news for me, man. System bet. I'm riding that one. I'll go ahead and say it I put it in. I've got proof. I know I got in late, but I put it in, and I told you I was taking the 7.5, not the 3.5, like I would have taken, because it's a system bet, and you ride it. So I'll take 7.5. It's fine.
All right. Utah USC.
It's gonna be a good ball game. Are you putting something on it?
I don't know.
I feel like this is Utah's defense is better than other teams USC's played, obviously, besides, I don't know, like, are they on par with Notre Dame? Like, do we just ride Utah to win this? I feel
for the fun of it?
I feel like we sprinkle a little on Utah. I'm kind of like talking myself into it now. They're dogs. Why not?
We just out on USC.
Dude, I'm out. I'm out on USC, and listen, if I'm an NFL team, I mean, I'll probably take Caleb Williams if I'm a NFL fan of the team specifically, but I don't know, man. I don't know if the kid's got fight in him.
What about the over?
Haven't we been screwed twice by USC's over?
We've been taking the under, but this one's at 53.
Dude, you fall. I don't disagree with your logic there, but I do want to note you told me we're never betting on USC again.
God, that's true. All right, screw it.
So
we're betting on Utah.
sprinkle. It is at USC, but do they really have home field advantage? Is that a thing in California?
No. Have you seen their stadium? It's like
they tarp half of it.
Yeah, it's like in the middle of.
Do you know what all there's to do on a fall in LA? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I would just like to point out that.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
That rain training that they did obviously did not help. There was no rain in that Notre Dame, but obviously, never do that again, right?
That's a good point that they didn't rain. Do you think they like all sat down after the locker room and before they even thought about their loss, they were like, "What the hell did we get sprayed the face for?" That's awesome.
A bunch of contacts were lost in the making of that video.
I can't imagine, dude. My contacts just blur, just kind of like turning my head fast.
But also, Caleb, I had to double check that James Madison score. 3-2 is insane for a football game.
It's a weird score. I mean, we're not scoregami weird, but it's a weird.
Hey, what's Chad on this week?
You want to find out? We can find out. I mean, there's no good bets. I feel like this was the week we just fade the hell out of Chad. Dude, I think he knows. Like he knows when we record because he doesn't answer ever now. I should have FaceTimed and left a FaceTime voicemail. Have y'all done that yet?
Is that
I haven't either. Yeah, it's a new thing. New update, which was my idea 10 years ago. And people were like, you could just send videos. And I was like, I don't want to click out of this. Hey. You're on More Important Issues with Caleb Mitchell, Landon Araby, and Dylan Bloom. Welcome, sir. We were calling to see what you're heavy on in college football.
Nothing. I haven't. Well, I'm on the over for JMU and.
Oh God. That's amazing.
Yeah, 3-2, third quarter right now.
No. That's a soccer game. You're good, dude. They're playing the other footy tonight. You're fine.
Yeah, right.
It'll hit.
Football.
Yeah, it'll hit. Hey, let me just get your initial thoughts on Utah USC.
Utah USC. Well,
USC 7.5 point favorites. It's good radio.
That's a great radio. Dead air.
I still love that he's on the freaking over.
Utah. Is it at Utah?
It is at USC.
Well, that doesn't make a difference. I don't know.
Why did you ask?
7's a lot of points.
Oh, to cover? Just to cover?
Yeah.
USC wins, though, right?
I don't know. Sure.
I need you to be confident. Okay. Last thought I want to hear, because I'm just curious for my own betting. Clemson is 3 point favorites versus Miami.
Is it in Miami?
It is at Miami. That doesn't make a difference either.
Yeah, it does. It's hot in Miami.
Is it?
It's
Right
hot
now? I
in
bet it's like
Clemson.
80. I bet it's like 80 degrees right now. We got a cold front moving in, dog.
Dabo's going to sweat through his khaki.
Dabo.
That'd be hot.
Miami's 3.5-point favorites at home?
No, Miami's 3-point dogs.
I'll take Miami. They're not as bad as everyone thinks they are.
All right, perfect. Sounds good, man. I appreciate you being.
Are you about to just fade everything I just said?
Not everything, but I did just fade that. Yes, thank you. I needed one more, so I appreciate it. Yeah, that was that's great stuff, man. I love you. And are you going to come to a game this year?
I want to.
Doesn't your uncle have season
But
tickets?
Do I have season tickets? No.
Your uncle, Timmy.
Oh, I don't think he does anymore. He
You
doesn't
know
have
more,
access to school anymore.
more about his uncle than he does.
Well, it's my uncle too.
Oh, okay.
It's Timmy,
Oh,
right?
that's right.
Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave me tickets to Talladega one time.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I was there.
All right, dude. I appreciate it. Love you, man.
Bye guys. Love you.
Yeah, definitely taking Clemson.
Yeah. I was like, dude, do not say Clemson. The fact that
That was
he's on
already
the
one of my
over
locks. I'm keeping it.
is
Oh
just,
yeah, that's one of mine too. That was the only one that when I looked initially, that was the only one I liked.
Jamie, you kicked him out field goal. It's
I
only
don't
third
even like
quarter.
my other bet, but we got to take 2.
Wait, what?
Jamie, you just
But
took
I
another
don't
field
really
goal.
like my other spread bet, but we got to take 2.
Yeah. All right.
Can't take him with you. All right, so I've got my other one. So I'm taking Florida State over.
Okay.
JMU 7.5 because I'm an idiot. Forgot to bet
Did
it.
Joe send us his already?
He's gonna wait to hear Dylan.
Just sending you.
JMU 7.5. Florida State over. Clemson -3. I don't really love anything else. I've got one more. I don't love it, but I feel like it's the only team I can really rely on to score points, and I just hate even kind of cheering on the under. I'm taking Oregon, Washington State 61.
Over?
Yeah.
Over.
61, like Oregon's probably going to score 30 or 40 on their own, at least. Washington State, they can score a little bit.
God, not last week.
No, what was that final?
44-6.
Yeah, that was bad.
Got smoked.
I got Clemson. I'll go one more. I got Ole Miss -6.5 over Auburn.
Dang, we're on the same lines there, brother. I got Clemson -3 and then Ole Miss -6.5.
Let's get it. What else you
And
got?
then I've got the system bet, as Caleb was saying, gotta ride with the system, win or lose. Duke, Florida State over 48 or 48.5, sorry.
Okay.
And then my final one is TCU, Kansas State under 59.5. To all the listeners out there, I did last week. If you fade me, might be a good idea. The hot streak has to somewhat of a close, but we're about to pick it back up this week. So you got faith right in it.
Okay.
Hey, you just look at the overall. Don't look week to week. Looking back, don't look week to week. Forward, we look week to week.
I'm going Georgia Tech, Boston College under 58.
I like that. I'm not doing it because I don't take unders, but I like that.
I want to ride with y'all with the Florida State, but I'm kind of Air Force Navy over 34.5. Let's do it. Let's beat the odds, baby.
Okay.
I'd say that hits before Iowa ever hits an over.
I kind of want to go the under in that game just for the fun of it. I might bet it just to have.
I might ride it with you just because.
Yeah, just to laugh.
It would be funny to win.
Because I mean, like, I literally don't know how Iowa is going to run or how Iowa can score. Their best player is out for the season. Their quarterback is just basically non-existent. And then they're playing Minnesota, who's not good at all. So I just think it might end 0-0. I think like the people there will just get tired until they all have to just go home.
I think the entire Iowa football team might be who A.J. Dillon is playing his farmer video game with at 2 in the morning.
Wait, what?
Have you not met A.J. Dillon? He was like playing some farmer game where he was like just picking up crops at like midnight or like 1 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, basically that's what their offense is, just picking up corn. I think this game should just punt back and forth until somebody runs one back.
That is the Robert Nealon effect.
I think they should try that.
Agreed.
But I do like Iowa to win. I don't know how they actually score. It's probably going to be on defense, but I do like them to win.
All right.
Yep.
Seems bold, but
I'll give us a good line. Doesn't have anything really to do with points. Tennessee, Bama. What's a good over under for penalty yards that's gonna happen? Like total penalty yards.
Combine?
Yeah. I'm thinking like
300, I think it's.
I was gonna say like 180.
Yeah, 180 hammer.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
All right.
There was what was it there? Have we looked at last year's? Hold on. It is in Tuscaloosa, so you got to know they're not going to get penalized quite as much, but Tennessee will probably double up and make up for that.
Yeah.
So let's hold.
We might
like they're going to do. Let's hold.
James Pierce, don't use your hands to get off a quarterback after you hit them. Just roll over. Okay,
so total penalties last year. Oh, not as bad as I thought. Tennessee only got penalized for 39 yards. Now that was 6 penalties. So yeah, we were at 169 last year. Okay, so 150 and above, I think is a pretty good guarantee. Tennessee's going to go for at least 110 tomorrow or Saturday, whatever day.
Yeah. All right. Anything else for college football?
I ain't got anything, fellas.
No. I'm excited for this week. It's gonna be one of those where. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just saying it's great seeing all these games throughout the week, giving us something to watch.
Dude, it sucks. I haven't really gotten to watch much. I'm gonna turn on this fourth quarter of the James Madison game when we get off here. But I've also got to ice. I think I've got to ice my foot.
It's 6-2.
Yeah, I saw that, Dylan. I saw that. I got up at 7.5.
The over my head.
It's just like midway through the third quarter. We got time. We're good. Good vibes for the Dukes. Good vibes for the Dukes.
Yeah.
Stupidities. I think I've just got one.
Stupidity. I have Shane Beamer.
Damn,
breaking his foot after a loss? What in the world?
So for the longest time, I thought he was Butch Jones of South Carolina. But, I mean, if he ends up with a stool on the sideline, is he Derek Dooley?
Is he just going to be like a different Tennessee head coach every year?
Yeah.
Until he's fired?
Yep. That's actually definitely it. Well.
Can't wait for him to start eating asparagus.
No. Won't eat it.
Yeah, won't eat it. Yeah.
Pretends he doesn't know what it is.
Yeah. And he starts giving out cash in McDonald's bags, even though it's legal now.
That'd be kind of cool, honestly.
Yeah. He's like, what? It's NIL.
Proud alum, Dylan. Man's got a Carson of an Eagle towel now. That dude wouldn't even wear the gear he was given. Now look at
I
him.
don't know why, but somehow in that picture you look like you're back in college. You look like you lost some ages. Maybe it's because the grays were hidden. I don't know, but
I think you look hot.
young.
Yeah, Dylan, are you trying to take me home? Because that's
Maybe
a long drive.
I'll meet you halfway.
Where's that? We'll meet at Bucky's in Crossville.
Yeah. Well, that's you're kind of cheating him there. I think you gotta go to old Cookville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Should meet at Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, we'll meet at TGA Fridays in Cookville.
We should go out on like a Thursday in Cookville one time. I heard it's a good time.
There's no way.
They have a bar there called Spanky's.
Is that must be the one? Surely there's not multiple good bars in Cookville. Maybe for college students.
Spanky's.
Yeah, I don't know.
We should. It's kind of one of those things. Like I kind of do wish like Tennessee was bad because I would like to go to more like weird stadiums. Like I think it'd be fun to do like an FCS road trip football season, and just hit like hit ETSU, Chattanooga, Tennessee Tech, UT Martin, Austin P, like all those like Eastern Western Kentucky. Like I think that would be fun to do. That's all they need to play in the spring.
That would be cool. We should start going to JUCO football games.
Yeah. Are there even JUCO football teams in the state of Tennessee?
There is, I think there is some in Tennessee.
No. Just learned that.
Is there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need a Pelly Panther JUCO
I
team.
think they have
They have soccer
team
now. They have soccer. They have cross country. They have other sports. Volleyball, maybe. They have some. Their soccer team beat someone like 22-0. Which is not what James Madison's currently doing.
Because all that those stout opponents they faced in KMSL getting
Yeah,
prepared.
I mean for real, dude. You gotta credit them for sure. All right, boys, that's all I've got. I'm fired up for this Saturday. Fired up for tomorrow night. South Bull's gonna just take it to Seymour. I mean, good God. Can't wait.
To see more butts than you, Uncle Tony.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Gonna be a fun weekend. Get your cigars ready. And guys, let's take it to them. Let's be 6-1 after Saturday. Be so nice.
I like it.
Get some confidence going, then just beat the shit out of Kentucky. Let's just keep this train rolling. Nothing's gonna stop us. Get off the tracks. Guys, have a good Friday. Good weekend. Love you guys. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.